Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
To round 3 of the BCDA Grassroots series. I am Andrew Schmidt, and with me we have
Nicole Bogosinski.
And we are doing the announcing today, but first I want to intro here. We are getting into our top 16. Alex Steins, our first place qualifier, is going to go for his bye run. But while we're doing that, Matt Rashutsky here is going to give us our lead judge and also newest FD driver is going to be giving us the key victory, the key points to victory here for our drivers. Matt, fill us in.
Hey, Andrew, thanks. So a few of the key points that we want to see for a victory today is consistency. That usually is what wins the day. So a nice solid lead, 100-point lead run, give the opportunity to the chase driver to do his job. Then obviously when roles flip, you get the same opportunity back and you put it on his door. Second key point I would say is in chase. We want to see a nice consistent run. We don't want to see surging on and off. We want to see matching angle to the lead driver and overall just an exciting run. And then third part, I mean, if we got to see the guys having fun. If they're not having fun, then they ain't winning. So that's part of the win right there. So yeah, those are three of the points I think that are going to get a victory today. And we got some talented guys here today, so we're excited to judge them.
Thank you very much, Matt, for filling us in. Those are great points. It is a fact that if you're not having fun during drifting, you're probably not going to win, because the mindset really drifting, it's such a game of if you hesitate for half a second, even a quarter of a second, that could be your entire run and weekend. So when you're not having fun, you're in your head. That's when you tend to make those mistakes. So Matt making a very good point. A lot of the time when you're not focused, but maybe you could say a little looser and just, again, a fun mindset, it can really change things. Nicole, talk about our drivers today. Speaking of fun, give us the field. What are we working with?
So we've got some fun battles going on here. We're going to see Gaston Morrison against James Wilson. I think that's going to be a really interesting battle because Gas is one of our veteran drivers. He laid down a super clean qualifier. And James was having a little bit of a mechanical issue earlier on today in qualifying. So that'll be an interesting one. We've got Alex Steins at the line ready to go for his bye run here. I'll let you take it away.
Sure. All right. Let's see this veteran here on the sport. Starting off strong with this Byron. Alex has really given us a good show of what we are looking for when it comes to a lead run between these drivers. Alex, wow. Talk about picture perfect. Hitting all of the zones he needs to, collecting that last outer zone too. Maybe a little shallow on it, but if you remember correctly, Alex actually ran a little wide, leaving the last outside zone on a second qualifying run. Talking to him about it in the pits, he told me he actually ran out of tires. Alex saying he's never ran out of tires during a comp, so it'll competition. It'll be interesting to see how the day goes going forward for Alex, seeing that he might be the heat is definitely playing a factor in tire usage.
Yeah, that was definitely something that we were hearing in the drivers' meeting this morning. Also hearing a bit of chatter about that in the pits when we were walking around earlier. The heat does play a role in the temperature of the pavement that they're driving on, how grippy or how slippery it's going to be for them, what tire they're on. And then also, obviously, just with the mechanical in their car, the heat does play a huge role in that. So we're going to see how that plays out today. But for our first battle, we're going to have Josh Reelie and Tino Zeba. They will be pulling into the burnout box shortly here. Whichever driver wins this battle will be facing Alex Steins in the next round. So
I almost wouldn't want to win it, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather lose to one of these guys. Alex looking so strong today, but I think honestly, looking at both these guys, Josh has a fast car with his V8 under that, or his LS under the hood of the Volvo, and Tino with the GT86, a little unassuming. He's a quieter guy. His car's actually his car's not that quiet. Once he steps on it, it screams. But a little bit slower, a little less horsepower, but a lot of confidence in Tino today. You can see it in his driving, testing out certain methods, adding the left foot brake into his playbook, I guess you would say. But here, let's see what Tino can do in the chase. We haven't seen him chase yet today, so here we go. Josh Reelie in the Volvo leading out Tino Zeba. Oh, Tino caught sleeping on the line a little bit, but catching up quickly. Josh Reelie flicking it in, starting great into this sweeper of both these cars. Tino managing to gain a little bit on Josh as he had to slow down going into that touch and go, but the speed is back in Josh's car, and he is ripping through that outside zone 2, going so fast he overshot the inner clip and just made it into the last outside zone. But Tino staying a very consistent chase, I'd say, doing a really good job mimicking Josh's line and angle through the track. Let's watch this replay and see how it goes here. So Josh, you could see, really consistent through the sweeper, but Tino's starting to close it in as they go into that touch and go, managing to keep on closing that gap as Josh has to cut the car a little bit to stay in that zone, not overshooting. But into this last outside zone, Josh, it looks like just since that outside zone 2 was kind of made him bobble a little bit, but let's see how Josh can do in the chase. Tino looking solid in the lead. I am sorry, Nicole, for talking over you this entire time.
It's all good. You're doing great.
I will let you get in on the next one. But here we go. We have Tino leading out Josh Reelie. I would say, in my mind, if we are going by old school D1 GP judging, it's I would say 6-4 for Josh in the lead. Let's see what they do going into the second run. Tino, great start for Tino, carrying loads of speed, but Josh Reelie not letting him get anywhere. Tino right into that touch and go deep, but Josh absolutely glued to his door into the second outside zone. Tino putting on a perfect lead run though. When it comes to lead versus chase, Josh bogging down. Oh my goodness. Josh looking so confident in the chase, but Tino with a perfect lead run. So Josh unfortunately throwing it away at the end. Nicole, run us through what just happened.
Run us through what just happened. A lot. You know, that was a great first lead run from Josh. And like you said, he was on the door of Tino that whole way through. We'd love to see that commitment. He was pushing him through the track. Things started to fall apart a little bit at that final outside zone where Josh just couldn't really keep it as deep as we needed to. We see him kind of bobble out of drift there for a second and have to cut some line. So, as Andrew was mentioning earlier, Tino playing with some left foot braking through that run as well. New tactic for him, something he's figuring out.
With that, sorry to cut you off, we have Tino Zeba taking the win. Tino Zeba of Gridlock Drift moving himself into top 8. Congratulations for Tino, taking out a monster in Josh Reelie. Nicole, back to you.
Thank you for taking us there, Andrew. I appreciate it. Tino is going to be facing another Alex that he's going to have to slay in that of Alex Stein's when we get to the top 8. So that is going to be quite the battle, something that I think we're all going to really look forward to. So who do we have up next here? We've got Shelby Moreau in the Corvette and Mike Randall in the Faction Motorsports E36.
Nicole, I'm excited to see this battle. I think both these drivers are in a newer car. Mike, a lot newer than Shelby, but Shelby's still just recently figuring out these kinks in the car. It looks like he is coming off of 2 days of drifting for charity. So shout out to Shelby, doing it for the kids here this last weekend, and then bringing the car out, saying the car worked great the past 2 days. You know what? I'm going for a third day. I'm trying to take the win. So here we have Shelby Moreau of Dark Lotus Drift Team and Fountain Tires to lead out Mike Randall in the Faction Motorsport Gridlock E36. I am excited, curious to see. I'm a stickler. I'm rambling, so bear with me, but I'm a stickler when it comes to warming up tires on a 35 degrees Celsius day. I personally feel that your tires do not need to be, maybe your front scrubbed in, maybe clean them off a bit, but besides that, it just seems like a waste of tire to me. But what am I don't compete, I'm just second place winner in street. I'm not a grassroots guy, I'm not there yet. So let's just talk about these guys. Shelby Moreau leading out, Mike Randall in the E36, Shelby flicking it in on a perfect line from Shelby Moreau. Going a little tight into the touch and go, but Mike Randall managing to stay there with him. Shelby great through outside zone 2, but Mike Randall not giving him an inch. In that E36, Shelby filling the whole last zone, but Mike Randall. Wow. What a great run between these two drivers. Mike, that does not look like it is a new car to him. He put on a perfect chase. Let's watch that replay. Shelby flicking it in though. Really good running away from Mike to start off, but into the touch and go. Shelby boggles in the near the inner zone there. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But here we go into this inside clip. Mike a little low on angle, transitioning a touch late to try and keep up with Shelby through this last outside zone, which he manages to do well, not cutting himself off. So we'll see what happens when they switch it around. But so far, I would say a 5-5 battle. I'm just going to D1 rate all these battles and be wrong.
That's what we have the freedom to do as not the ones driving, but they gave us the mics, so that's their prerogative.
Guess what? We're talking. Deal with it. So, yep. Andrew's score 5-5, I would say, going into it. So let's see what they can do. Mike leading out. Mike having a little bit of a trouble scoring a 32 for his qualifying score. So struggling just a touch to get in there for a high point qualifying. But it seems like he has his car figured out watching his chase battle there. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the lead. Shelby, I haven't seen him chasing this Corvette, so also excited to see if Shelby can manage to put it on his door. What do you think, Nicole? What do you see happening?
I think that was a really fair-fought battle. I'm excited to see them rack it up and change it around here. I want to see Mike Randall in the lead. We haven't seen him do a tandem battle yet today, so let's see if Shelby's going to keep that pressure on his door all the way through, and how Mike is going to respond to that in this new car. Because I actually don't know if he's done a tandem battle in this car ever.
Actually, that's a very good point. Today's his first day driving it, first day drifting. And this will be his first tandem. This will be his first tandem. That was his first chase in the car. I mean, he did great. So shout out to Mike. All right, we have a little bit of not sure slowdown. Drone went down. We have lost the drone. So it is recovered. The drone has been recovered. Don't worry, it did not fall into the hands of the opponents. Woo. Okay, I've taken a couple breaths. I think I'm going to not lose my voice this battle. Let's see what we can do here. Mike Randall again in the lead, coming up from the USA. I heard potentially a Biden voter. Joking, not getting political. Just trying to be funny. Shelby, definitely not a Biden voter. We can't vote in Canada for the American politicians. I don't know which way he swings for Canadian politics, but I know we can't vote down there. Shelby, huge fan of going fast and going sideways, and I'm excited to see what he can do chasing Mike Randall.
A little known fact about Mike Randall is that he is an exceptional karaoke star.
Oh, yes, actually, I heard that. I also heard he starred in Monsters, Inc. as a child.
Oh.
As Randall the lizard.
Wow, that's news to me.
I'm stretching, I'm reaching. Here we go. Okay, Mike Randall to lead out Shelby. Throwing off Shelby with a little bit of a flick. Shelby a little too close, but recovering, coming into this touch and go. Mike absolutely running away. It's awesome to see him get that 36 figured out, but Shelby starting to reel him back in here in the second half of this course. Perfect to the inside clip, but Mike completely missing the last outside zone. What happened? Gridlock. Shelby looping it in the end. I don't know quite how they view that. I know in FD, a spin after the line is considered a spin after the spin. But I don't know how they do it in Grassroots. Maybe we'll get one of our judges in to clarify that for us.
Yeah, I don't know the technicalities on that rule, but I do know, yes, in FD, you need to maintain control even after you cross the finish line. So I don't think that's too rough of a rule. I think that's probably something that they implement here as well. But yeah.
I appreciate you using proper English to relay that, because I was completely struggling and how to put that into words. Yes, maintaining control while crossing the finish line is the perfect way to put it, Nicole. So unfortunately, Shelby didn't manage to do that, but I don't know if that's
going to work against him or not. Who knows? We'll have to find out.
But let's look at this battle, though, to watch. So we're hearing a lot of comments from the judges. I'm not going to relay them to the live stream, but hearing a lot of comments. No, I'm joking. Both the drivers doing great so far, but I think when we're looking at it, the key things to note is Shelby shallow on the touch and go. Doing great on the outside zones though, but shallow on the touch and go. And if I remember correctly, a little shallow leaving the last outside zone. Let's watch it here actually. Here we go, Shelby in the lead. Mike almost actually straightening in the chase if you look at it closely, but in my eyes, deduction, I don't think is zero. But here we go, transitioning into this last outside zone. Mike managing to maintain, I'd say, matching line and angle on Shelby fairly well in the chase. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one for the judges. Again, it's hard to not say 5-5 again. Like in my opinion,
is that your new favorite number?
It's my new favorite number, 5-5.
I think what was really interesting in this run is that both the drivers, when they were in the lead, kind of took off on the chase driver. So usually when we see that happen with the lead driver, when we swap them around, and they become the chase driver, they're like right on the door. But in this battle, we saw both lead drivers taking off on the chase.
That's a very good point. That's a good observation. Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know, it's from what it looks like and actually I've driven the layout, so I can tell you right now, if you are chasing and you light off after the lead driver coming out of outside zone 1, you almost need to be initiating before the lead driver to set yourself up to be on throttle. But here we go. We are getting the results in, and it looks like one more time for Matt. Shelby for Clinton and Jamie for Clinton, or Shelby for Jamie. We have Shelby taking the W. Shelby from Fountain Tires Chilliwack, happy to get a win. I am happy to see Shelby taking names again. We were right saying it looks like he found his step in that Corvette. Okay. Clarification from the judges. Nicole here, she was just getting some word on the control past the finish line. Nicole, fill us in with what head judge Matt just passed on.
So it is dependent on where the spin happens. So what the judges are looking for is that the driver is maintaining control across the line. If the driver spins at the finish line, that would be a deduction. If they have created enough space past the finish line, they have clearly finished their run and a spin happens, it's not judged.
And this is, to clarify, this is if you're the chase. If you spin in the lead, I'm just going to judge you is what's going to come down to it. But here we go, Gaston versus James Wilson. This is a feature battle. Gaston in the lead, James in this newly swapped VQ S17. Let's see what they can do. Gaston a little tight going into the touch and go, but managing to fill all of outside zone 2. James, though, right on it, matching line end to angle, both of them overshooting the inner clip. Gaston dropping a wheel, leaving outside zone 3, but my goodness, James Wilson making that VQ work. First time out with this swap, having a couple issues in qualifying when it comes to mechanical, but looks like he's got it figured out. Let's see the replay here. Gaston into that touch and go. Just looks like, again, what I was saying earlier, if we can point out that maybe after this replay we can get a view on that inside box going to the touch and go. But if the driver with which if the driver that is leading goes shallow on that box going into the touch and go and cuts off the chase driver, there's a point deduction to the lead driver, is what I was trying to say. I'm out of breath. Nicole, tell us.
All right, here we go. So we have got James out in front for the lead this time. Gaston initiating very well right behind him. They come into the track with lots of angle. You do see Gas kind of cut shallow on that inner clip there, or that leading box that Andrew was talking about, keeping some nice angle as they come around through that outside zone, clean through the touch and go, inner clip, and then again hanging it wide, but James cutting it a little bit short on that final sweeper.
Oh my goodness. I mean, James kind of walked Gaston at the start, which is very surprising to see from Gaston in the chase. But let's watch this back. James, it looks like Gaston kind of cut himself a little. He cut himself off is what happened, leaving outside zone 1, and it kind of messed him up for the big sweeper. And James hitting all of his marks up until this last outside zone right here. James with a big bobble in the middle of the zone, kind of messing up his line. Not quite sure what happened there, but it definitely... It led to also Gaston having to adjust his line as he was diving in on James. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting call to see what the judges say. But overall, fantastic battle from both these drivers. Really impressive. James and his brand new car, Gaston, just being Gaston, always on it, always solid.
So whoever wins this battle will be seeing Shelby Moreau in the top 8.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Who's going to be? That's way too early.
Silly us. The judges are trying to run fast.
Hey, the drivers gave them a lot to talk about.
That is true. These guys both, I'd say it's actually their fault for making so many mistakes that the judges are just, they're almost running out of clipboard here. Come on, guys, clean it up.
They got to do math the long way. They got to write it all out.
Again, one of our judges actually still learning to read that we've learned today, Clinton, able to build and swap any engine into any car, but struggling with his ABCs, unfortunately. Last time I asked him what he put in his 240, and he said SR. And I looked and there's 8 cylinders. And he said, oh, I don't know how to spell LS. I need to quit while I'm ahead here. All right, we are still waiting for the results to come in here. Sounds like the judges potentially have made up their mind. They're all laughing and smiling. Here we go. 1 left for Gaston. One more time. At 2 for Gaston. Morrison taking the win. Gaston Morrison. Great battle. Seems like James's bobble in the last outside zone is what got him. Can we get a confirmation from the judges? We have 3 nods. Unfortunately, James taking himself out. Looking so solid in the chase and the lead. Just that last outside zone showing how important it is to be on it through the entire route. There's no letting off. It just becomes to drifting.
Well, this just comes right back to what our head judge, Matt Ruszewski, was saying at the beginning of our live stream here, is that one of the main things they're looking for is consistency.
That is exactly right, Nicole. And James, unfortunately, failing to be consistent, which is actually, I would say, quite unusual for Mr. Wilson. And I would probably put that, saying that he used to, well, so this car used to have an RB20 in it. I'm going to talk over Darren. I love Darren, but it's a buy run. So we're just going to watch and enjoy while I talk about James Wilson's car, saying that so that car used to have an RB in it, and he just swapped the subframe back to the KA subframe that's been modified for the VQ, so everything's a little different. And speaking of a little different, let's look at Darren. He is completely different today. Not that he's ever been a bad driver, but my goodness is he on one today. You can tell something's in the water today. Darren, I think from what I heard, is he started drinking Canadian tap water, and it's just given him confidence and energy. And actually, oh, here we go. 1, 2. I was a little worried, but looks like Darren moves on to the top 8. We will find out who's battling. He will battle either Dakota Jansen or Jay Gree next. Both these guys might be out of tires by the time they get to the battle, but we will see. Oh, shit.
So I had a chance to catch up with Darren in the pits on the break, and he was really looking forward to battling either of these drivers. He's had a lot of experience driving with Jay Gree, and he knows Dakota is always a fun one to have a battle with. So whoever wins this will be facing Darren in the top 8, and he's ready, he's calm, he's collected. So let's see what these boys do as they light off from the line.
Here we go, Dakota Jansen to lead out Jay Gree. Dakota coming in with a load of speed into this outside zone 1. But Jay Green not shaken by it. Absolutely glued to Dakota into this outside zone. Getting caught off by Dakota's left foot brake. Unfortunately, Jay just biting off a little more than he could chew there. Such a good chase run from Jay, but an absolutely what it looks like to be fantastic leader. And let's look back at the film. From what I saw, it looked like a bit of a decel from Dakota into the second outside zone. Tell me what you see, Nicole.
Yeah, so Dakota coming in with a lot of confidence, but then right here, things kind of seem to get a little bit of a wobble from him. He is in a new car. This isn't something that he is used to having a lot of seat time in, and Jay is going to have to adjust for those little moments where things maybe don't go quite to plan for Dakota in the lead. As they come through that final outside zone, they do a good job of matching proximity and angle, and then they come across the line. So we're going to swap them around. We're going to have Jay in the lead this time and see what he can do. He was showing a lot of aggression and confidence in practice. That run, he demonstrated a lot of that as well, so let's see what he does in the lead here.
Yeah, putting a supercharger under the hood, really big confidence booster for Jay Gray. Let's see if he can take it into the lead. Jay, unfortunately, blowing that outside zone one, but hitting the touch and go one, fantastic, with a ton of speed and aggression, making his way into outside zone 2 here, filling all of it for what it's worth. Right through the inner clip, which he was struggling with in qualifying, but Dakota not shaking, not going anywhere. Great run and battle from both these drivers. Really what this whole thing is going to come down to is what happened in outside zone 2 in the first run, with that, depending on fault to Dakota or Jay. No accident, thank goodness, but let's see what they do. Nicole, walk us through.
Yeah, so Jay comes into the track and lights it off, just kind of running away from Dakota. I think maybe Dakota's having a little bit of a struggle here because he doesn't have as much power today as he's normally used to. So a little bit, having to put a little bit more work in to get in the car where he needs it to go. And then Jay just comes all the way around, running away from him through that first outside zone. Dakota does get a chance to catch up in that second outer zone and through the transition, but then again it looks like Jay was able to take off from him in that final outside zone and as they came across the line. So there's a lot to unpack on this run, on this battle, these 2 runs. A lot of little corrections, a few little mistakes, and a lot of really good things. So sounds like our judges do have a winner. We're going to cue the win card here on the live stream.
Remember, people, Jay turning 87 tomorrow. Huge shout out. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Dakota, right for Jay. 1, 2, 3 for Dakota Jansen. Dakota Jansen taking the win. Jay lighting his way out of here. He's going to be upset taking him, as he always does. I'd like to point out, I don't think I've ever seen Jay taken out by anyone but himself. Always pushing hard, always trying to do the best, and that's really the best way to get taken out, is by pushing too hard. It's better than losing by not going hard enough, and then you're beating yourself up the whole time. So, shout out to Jay Green, 87 tomorrow, but 100 in our hearts. We love you. 87 with a reading level of a 65-year-old. You're awesome, Jay.
So in the burnout box now we have Tanner Emery in the black E46 Gridlock Drift team coming up from USA, Washington. And then in the silver Volvo we have John Smelty. So John did not get the performance that he was looking for in qualifying earlier this morning. We're going to be really curious to see what he lays down here and if he's been able to work on the car, dial in his mindset, whatever it was that he needed to put the pieces together and get some points on the board. So this should be an interesting battle because Tanner did very well in qualifying, but this is their first time in a tandem battle today. So
my suspicion is, unfortunately, Tanner runs away from the Volvo, but again, I will go back to the judging system that I know best, and we will rate it a 5-5 potentially. See how the run goes.
Haven't even left the line yet.
Haven't even left the line yet, but I have a suspicion. No, I think this may swing Tanner's way in the lead, but I think he's going to have a lot of trouble in the chase following a slow car. Let's see how they go. Tanner with a great entry. John Smelt doing his best to keep up. Big clutch good. Oh, John, unfortunately, just cutting himself off shallow there, but he's going to finish the run. Let's watch Tanner as he does a great lead run, hitting all the zones, filling it for everything it's worth. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Emery of Gridlock Drift doing a great lead run. Unfortunately for John, Mr. Smelt, he's going to have to smelt himself a bigger engine in that Volvo. Get himself a little more power.
Yeah, just not quite enough juice and enough to put the pieces together for a good chase run there for John Smelty. Great lead run from Tanner. So we're going to swap them around. I think I agree with you. This is where the challenges are going to come in because Tanner is going to have to do a lot of work to be maybe holding himself back a little bit behind John leading him. So it's going to be an interesting one.
He's going to know he has the advantage. He's going to know John spun, but yes, 110%. It's not an easy win for Tanner. There's every possibility of Tanner straightening out of the chase. Let's see what happens here. John in the lead, Tanner to chase. John coming in, all the effort and energy, flicking that Volvo and for everything it's worth. Tanner, though, absolutely glued to John's door. Tanner going for the door mark. He gets it. Oh, my goodness. Does he cut himself off, though? Tanner getting greedy. He's got to finish. Look at that. Tanner Emery, ladies and gentlemen, here to play. Showing us why he makes the trip up across the border. Big flame out of John's head. Let's watch this replay back.
Man, Andrew, this makes me feel like we're good at our jobs because we gave a prediction before they even left the line, and we do see here that Tanner does have to do a lot of work to kind of rein it in behind John. And John does have a much better lead run than he did in his chase. So as they come through here, Tanner's right on the door. They transition through. He gives him a bit more space. Nice, clean transition. Nice big sweep. Lots of room to breathe. So happy there wasn't any crashes.
No crashes, just a little paint exchange between these two cars. But man, what a fun run to watch. John just putting a little tractor flap on that Volvo. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Tanner Emery taking the win of Gridlock. We have, that is not 1, not 2, but 3 Gridlock drivers moving into the top 8. These guys are taking over the competition scene in the Northwest. Great driving. Tanner's car, you can't even tell that he got a little mark on it. Great driving from both cars. That was a really fun battle, but okay, we are moving on to our final, last but not least, final battle of the top 16. We have Jake Snetten, Josh Wiens. See, Jake gets it. Jake does push of his front tires to scrub them in. There's no smoke off of his tires. I predict Jake's going to be fast. But also Josh is extremely fast on that LSG35. So we have Jansen Racing versus Sweat Sleds. Who will win? Sorry, Living Legends. It wasn't teal and pink. I didn't recognize it. Standing out from 6 miles away. Here we go. Jansen Racing G35. Josh Wiens to lead out. Jake Snetten. Here we go. Josh with an aggressive flick, but Jake not shaken. A little bit of a bobble actually by Jake in the chase to stick up with Josh. Josh here absolutely flying in this G35, trying his best to run away from Jake Snetten and lose that bobble, but Jake diving in here, trying to make it count. Wow, I am losing my voice. It doesn't matter how long my 4th water bottle and I'm still losing it. Here we go, let's watch it. They're quick with the replays today. Josh running away from Jake at this first in the big sweeper there, but Jake, here he goes, closing the gap, coming into outside zone 2, making his dive onto Josh. Josh consistently filling outside zone 2, great into the inner clip, but Jake again not shaken, going for another dive, another dive into this last outside zone. Great battle from both these drivers. We are gonna swap it around and put Jake in the lead and Josh in the chase. Josh, I would say a notorious lead driver, always putting on a great lead. This, that, the next thing. We all know Josh. Come on now. But in the chase, sometimes can be a bit shaky. Let's see what they do. Jake flicking it in. Josh with an aggressive flick in the chase. But keeping right up with Snetten. Josh having to make a bit of an adjustment. Jake leader and coming into outside zone 2. Josh though glued to Jake through that transition. Jake going a little shallow, but filling out the last part of the zone. Wow. I would say if there's one battle that warranted a one more time today, this is the one.
That was a pretty exciting battle. I mean, both drivers, when they were in the lead, really chucked it in for that initiation. But with Jake Snetten in the lead there, he set himself up for a much better line through entering the course. So as they came through that transition, into that first outside sweeper at the back of the track. He was on a much better line in the lead than he was in the chase. Josh, like you said, he's got a ton of power underneath that hood. So when he's in the lead, he can run away. But when he's in the chase, he's kind of got to reel it in a bit and manage the car a little bit to just not bulldoze whoever's in front of him. So there's a lot going on here. Both incredible drivers. Really fun run here.
Let's not forget, though, Jake, even though it's not an LS, does have a V8 under that hood of that thing. A little pink Volvo V8 that he has souped up to make work for that car. And it's honestly, it sounds like a dying UZ, but it seems to run pretty well, so we'll give it to him. Let's see here, going back to the video, judges wanting to watch this replay. Jake again going for this great dive into outside zone 2. Unfortunately, though, led to Jake having to go a little shallow. So overall, man. All right, let's watch this one. Here we go. We got Jake in the lead, leading out Josh Wiens. A little glitchy, maybe. That might just be me. Jake, great. Honestly, that's I think the difference here. I think Jake had Josh on the lead when it comes to the first half of the battle. Second half of the battle, though, Josh really filling out the last outside zone, I think, better than Jake. But when it comes to chase, I'd say fairly even between the both of them. So I think it comes down to the lead run here. In my opinion, D1 ratings, I'd say first run was 6-4 for Jake. Second run, I'd also think 6-4 for Jake. But let's see the judge. We have one more time. 2 one more times. 3, we have these guys one more time. Running it back. They're going to turn it around, get back on the bank, and go for another battle. Great top 16. I would like to point out that, again, as Nicole pointed out, I'm pretty good at this. I did predict it one more time. Except when I was giving my judging score, I love Jake, so I had to lean. That's why I don't judge people. I am biased in my judge. That's why I gave Jake the 6-4 on the chase. It was a Josh round. I'm done. I am retired. Bye.
So we're not quite done the top 16. We will see those two rack back up for a one more time battle. Giving the drivers just a little bit of a second here. We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors that make today possible. We're out here at Agassiz Speedway, beautiful in the mountains, great weather out here, lots of trees. You can't beat this place. And also big thank you to Fountain Tire Chilliwack, Zestino Tires, RaceGear.ca, BCDA for organizing these events, Kinetic Signs, Lordco Auto Parts, Ryan Bogasinski Real Estate, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, who is running our live stream today, and Fish Racing Tech. It's not without these people that we could do these events. So we always like to give them a good shout out, and if you need anything that these people provide, I can highly, highly, highly recommend you go check them out because they'll take care of you.
Also, we would like to thank, when it comes to the stream side of things, a big shout out to Valley Tech for helping us out here. They have been great with when we need equipment or certain things. They're always willing to lend a hand and or equipment. So big shout out to those guys. And Still Real for doing this. And actually, I'd like to make the biggest shout out here to Electric Media. Dustin coming in. Dustin, what's your last name? Ledger, right? Ledger, Dustin Ledger, coming all the way from Alberta to help out with the stream today. Here, he's smiling. He was at the checkpoint meet last night, and yeah, he's out here today. So big shout out to Dustin being out here this weekend, coming all the way from Alberta just to be a helping hand. All right, we have a go from that man himself, Dustin Ledger. Let's see what they do. Josh Wiens for this one more time battle. Leading out Jake Snetten. Here we go. Josh Wiens flicking it in and resolute. But Jake, he says, I'm not losing this. I'm not leaving it in the hands of the judges. Leaving a sweet little mark on the side of Josh's car. Going for another is Jake Snetten. He's angry. He wants this win. He is, look at him go. He's going for the dive on Josh, having to cut some line to do it. But my goodness, what a battle. This is a great start to our one more time. Let's watch this back. Jake making the dive as they leave outside zone 1, leaving a nice tire mark on the quarter panel of Josh. Coming into this touch and go, Josh, though, huge credit to him not being shaken. If anything, putting him on a perfect line. Another door tap from Jake. Josh, though, filling out all these zones. Jake having to cut line and angle in some areas to make these dives. But Josh Wiens with, I think, probably the best lead run we've seen all day. That was about as close to a 100-point run as we can get. These guys seem to be figuring out this track as the day goes on. I'm excited to see what happens when we switch it up. Which it looks like is happening quicker than I expected. Right on, all right. Jake Snetten to lead out Josh Wiens in the Jansen Racing. Jeez, Josh upset. I think Josh grabbed another gear for this. Josh is meaning business. He is pushing to get on Jake's score. He knows he's got to push, but Jake throwing in as well. A perfect leader on Josh, cooking the tires on that G35. If anyone's getting the Smoky Award, I think we know who might be doing it today. Josh Wiens. I think he grabbed third on that. My goodness. That thing, it looks like he got an extra 200 horsepower through that. Fantastic run. Let's watch this back. Josh lighting up the tires, leaving a cloud of smoke throughout this whole track. Glued to Jake Snetten, though, not sacrificing line or angle when it comes to any of this run. Perfect transition coming into the last outside zone. Man, I gotta tell you, Josh Wiens, he doesn't want to lose either. Both these guys. This is a finals battle in the top 16. Wow.
Yeah, these drivers are definitely putting on a show for the fans, for the judges, and for the commentators. They're not leaving anything on the table. They know that they've got to do all the right things. This is the tightest battle we've had all day. So, lots of fun to watch these guys together.
Uh-oh, we're running it back. Looks like we got a restart. All right, we got a restart here. Apparently, Jake Snetten hitting a cone on his lead run, so they are switching it back. I don't know if Josh has any tires to run this back, though. Jake Snetten saying he loves the judges up here. He's really happy with their judging process. Oh, that's why his car got so loud. Josh Wiens' his exhaust fell off on initiation. I was trying to figure out, I thought he grabbed third or fourth. It got like twice as loud, and I was like, holy cow, what is going on here? But unfortunately, Josh gonna have to call his 5-minute timeout, which actually, I don't know how that works because they ran a restart battle. I'm gonna assume it's a 5 minutes still. So Josh is gonna figure out that exhaust and hopefully get back out here. Is that a 5 minute? It is, okay. I wasn't sure with the restart how that works. Okay, so Josh is confirmed calling his 5, so I think we are going to move into our top 8.
So, interesting developments here with Jake Snetten and Josh Wiens. So, what happened was cone was hit on initiation, and that caused a restart. However, they did finish their run, and Josh's exhaust fell off. So, Josh Wiens has called his 5-minute timeout to go fix his car. While he's doing that, we are going to head into our top 8. So this is the first battle of our top 8. We're going to see Alex Stein, who was our number 1 qualifier this morning, battling Tino Zeba. So once we run these guys, we will see Jake and Josh come back to wrap up top 16. But right now, we're heading into top 8. So.
What are we calling this? It's the Zestino top 8, or is it Okay, here we go. We have Alex Stein's leading out Tino Zeba. Alex Stein's running away from Tino, but Tino managing to close the gap here. Coming into the touch and go. Alex is just schmooving with that E46. Tino almost losing it, but doing everything he can to keep up. Making the proper move, which is diving in, cutting a little line. Trying to go for Alex. I just wish he would have cut the line a little sooner so he could have kept up with him for the whole track. I think he just made the dive a little too late, but let's watch this back. Nicole, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so we see Alex coming in really hot on his track entry and taking it really wide, but it ends up working out for him as he goes through that touch and go and into that outer zone. He is getting away from Tino a little bit in the lead, so Tino's doing lots of work in the chase there to catch back up to Alex in that final outside zone. But Alex is just able to take it away from him. So this is a hard-fought battle. Like I said, Alex is our #1 qualifier and currently in first place for Grassroots as a series. So no matter what, when you face Alex Stein, you got a lot of work to do. We're going to stack him back up at the start line, switch him around, so Alex will be in the chase and Tino will be in the lead this time. So, a good chance for Tino to lay down his best here with some clean air, and Alex is going to have to dial in. We are seeing Alex is out of the car looking at something in the engine bay. Curious.
I think he's fixing his front bumper. Actually, we can kind of see. Yeah, it looks like they're just putting some zap straps on his front bumper. I think he caught a cold. Okay, we have... Okay, Alex breaking the rules, touching his car. Alex getting disqualified. Thank goodness. It's about time that guy gets kicked out. Whew. Yeah. All right, Mr. Big Bobble Stein's here coming on the chase. Let's see what he can do. I love Alex to death. He knows that. I like teasing him. He likes to be a heel. He knows he's tough competition. He's coming for a fist fight after right here, apparently, which is okay. I know he's got a black belt, but he doesn't know I have one. So let's see. We'll see how this plays out. Here we go. We have Tino Zeba leading out Alex Big Bobble Steins. Here we go into this outside zone 1. Tino coming in with a ton of speed. Alex, though, glued to him, using a little bit of that left foot brake so that he stays. Oh, man, Alex! Point on this run through that outside zone 2, transitioning, gaining proximity through that transition. Tino, though, not to be laughed at. Tino with an absolutely fantastic lead run, even though he was slower. Man, was that a good lead run from Tino. But Alex knows how to follow a slow start, glued to his door through this whole thing, and made it look smooth too. Not too much, not too shaky or jabby, you could say, just a really consistent chase. If anything, adding more angle in some areas than Tino, but overall, hats off to both these drivers. Great battle. Absolutely exactly what we want to see in the top 8. Alex getting out of the car, congratulating Tino, even though they don't know the scores. Alex can't get back in his car, struggling, looking up at me, unimpressed. But I tell you guys, I mean, come out and enjoy this Grassroots. We are just out here having a great old time. Here we go, slide him left for Alex, right for Tino. We have 1, 2, 3 for Alex Steins. Dark Lotus Drift Team taking out a gridlock driver, and then there were 2 gridlock drivers left and moving into the grade 8 or further into this grade 8. Great driving from Tino. Again, I would like to say Tino, if there was a most improved award, I would say he earned it over this past year and a half of driving at the BCDA. That guy has gone from his first track day to getting into the top 8 multiple times. He has just become an absolute pleasure to watch in that GT86, and thankfully it's not pink anymore, so it's even more better to watch. Again, nothing against pink, just don't like pink cars. Here we go. Moving into our next battle, we have Shelby Moreau of Dark Lotus Drift Team Fountain Tires facing off one of his teammates, Gaston Morrison, also Dark Lotus Drift Team of Hard Knock Stunts. Gaston is a stunt driver. He drives for a lot of your Netflix shows and movies that you see. You see cars exploding or flipping. I would say there's a good chance that you've watched Gaston flip a bank truck or something before. And now he is ready to win this battle. Here we go. Shelby leading out Gaston, old friends battle. Let's see what they can do. Shelby absolutely dialed in this lead run, going a little shallow on the touch and go, throwing off Gaston. He goes all the way into the zone. Here we go though, how do they do second half of the course? Gaston cleaning it up in the chase. Shelby cleaning it up in the lead. Overall, Shelby though, Shelby looping it in the Corvette. Not quite sure what happened. Looked like he had it that whole run. Just a little too much throttle, but unfortunately the opposite of what I usually talk about Shelby. Shelby too much throttle today. Here we go. Shelby to lead out. Let's see what they do. Shelby on a great start here. Unfortunately choking himself out going into the touch and go. Gaston managing to avoid and stay deep. But here we go into this last outside zone. Shelby filling the outside zone perfectly. But then last minute, just not sure what happened, but looping the car. Gaston, they did a little front kiss with the bumper, but there was no contact beforehand or before the spin. So unfortunately, Shelby just washing out, just going a little too much input. Just maybe excitement, not sure what happened. Let's watch this back again. Here we go, Shelby. Again, shallow on the touch and go, but Gaston following him deep, following the line, doing what he needs to do. Transitioning, inner clip, great from both the drivers. Outside zone, great from both the drivers. And then just as they leave it, Shelby, Gaston right on Shelby's door, but no contact before the spin. So unfortunately, that one I'm going to say goes on Shelby. These two, not quite sure what's happening, why they're parked there. I don't know why these guys are leaving the track. They still have one more battle to do, but Gaston, I think Gaston is taking his 10 minutes to fix his bumper and stuff and check over his car. Shelby, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with these cars. It just seemed like they kissed, but Gaston, he gets automatically awarded a 10 minutes, so it kind of seems stupid to not at least, you don't need to take the 10 minutes, but not at least peek at it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the opportunity to, why not, right?
Just imagine that bumper comes off, you spin out, whatever. It's like, oh, I could have just put his ab strap on. So I think that's Gaston's mindset. He's an experienced veteran in competition, and he knows to take all the advantages you can get. So he is doing that. So we will be back with the second run here after, or probably not after, but we'll be back with that battle. But first, we return to the battle, the amazing battle of Jake Snetten versus Josh Wiens. If we go back to this and trying to relive it here, Josh and Jake, a great start. Jake leaving a sweet tire mark on Josh's quarter, but unfortunately in the lead, Jake hitting a cone leaving the start line in his lead run, so they're having to run it back. Josh Wiens, though, in that run lost his exhaust, so we'll see what happens here. Here we go, running it back. Josh, what did Josh do? Josh with the initiation, just throwing it in too early. Now he's playing catch up here with Jake. Unfortunately, what a letdown for Mr. Wiens. Here he's going for it. He says, I'm not losing without getting a mark on your car too, buddy. Josh, he says, I'm taking back some of what you left on my car. Jake, absolutely stoked, smacking the door at the end. Let's watch this. Josh just starting too early, initiating too early on Jake, not knowing. And some may say it's games, but Jake has been running the same lead run all day, slower into the outside zone and then pushing it once he leaves it. So not sure. It's definitely not Jake playing games. Unfortunately, it's just Josh getting a little too excited, and that's why the judges stress so hard not to initiate side by side. This initiation, it's very unpredictable, and if you're chasing and you're right beside the guy, chances are most of these people like Jake flick their car in, and that's what happened, and it just got a little bit in the way of Josh, and yeah, unfortunate for this, I am again, if I'm judging, I'm saying that is Josh's fault. You're the lead driver. Yeah, Josh unfortunately just clutch kicking too early, but it looks like the judges are making sure Jake didn't actually reinitiate and initiate early and then again. So here we go. We're watching this part of the run. Really doesn't matter, even though it's sick. Josh going in for the dope door, like just impressive, aggressive, brave dive on Jake into this last outside zone. Jake telling Josh that his steering rack's actually bent from the first outside zone. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 for Jake Snetten. Jake Snetten taking the win in the Volvo 760. Jake taking the win, but as he's on the line, he's explaining to Josh, Jake, on this first run when he left the door mark on Josh's car, definitely bending the steering rack in the Volvo. So it goes to show you drive enough boxes in your days, you just learn how to drive cars that are broken. Jake calling the opposite of Gaston. Jake having the opportunity to check his car, but saying, nah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. That was intentional. Yeah, okay.
Jake Snetten. Jake getting the win. Happy as a clam. Always. Loving that car. If there's anyone who does not care about the car getting marked up, it is Mr. Snetten. He just keeps building them and building them, no matter how many ones he breaks. But next up, talking about a fun battle, let's talk about these guys, Nicole. I've been just rambling and kind of forgot that you were here. Extremely sorry. Not used to two people. I'm still getting used to this whole show here. So Nicole, take us away for a couple minutes. Why don't you run out of breath for us?
I've been saving up some breath. You can take a break. So next up, we're going to see Darren Benz and Dakota Jansen. So Dakota in the Grassroots series is sitting in second place currently. Darren is closer to not to the top, but he has been on a heater today. He had his bye run, so this will be Darren's first time seeing a tandem battle today. It'll be really interesting to see what he does with that. Another interesting factor in this battle is Dakota is not in his regular car. This is actually a car that he has borrowed from a friend. This is one of the first days he's driven it in a very long time. So lots to adjust to, lots to get used to here. They're going to line up at the start line. Darren's going to lead first. Dakota will be in the chase position.
We are getting a couple cones fixed up here in the last outside zone, and then we are going to get back to it here.
So Andrew, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's your prediction for this battle? You've been on cue all day, so.
What this whole battle will come down to is Darren's chase. Dakota, I know he's going to manage to be able to stay with Darren, but he's not going to be able to make an exclamation point on the chase. That car just doesn't quite have it in it, and he's still getting used to the FDF kick. Darren, on the other hand, very comfortable in his car. A fantastic. I'm saying that. I know Darren's going to put in a great lead run. The chase, he's chasing a little bit of a slower car. Darren, not that he's not experienced in the chase, it's just that I think when it comes to him versus Dakota, I'd say Dakota has a little more chase and battle experience. But Darren, again, has basically hit every single Grassroots event in the Northwest when it comes to Washington and Canada.
Yeah.
So shout out to Darren. Let's see if his practice, seat time, and experience pay off. Here we go, Darren coming into this outside zone one. Unfortunately missing it, but Dakota shooting too far and going off the line a bit. Having to correct here to get back with Darren. But Darren, like he's been doing all day, hitting his marks, hitting the zones, filling them. Actually, I hate to say it, announcer's curse, but Darren just going a little wide on that inside clip. But again, I think like I was saying, Dakota being able to maintain, put a consistent chase run in, but no exclamation points on it.
Yeah, I would agree that from Darren was a really clean, consistent lead run, which is what we thought we would see from him. The challenge for him is, where he doesn't have as much strength is in the chase. So we know Dakota has the driving confidence in both positions. It's just the confidence in this car that is going to be the mitigating factor, I guess we would say.
And I think that's a really good point to put in. And I think that's Darren. And that's, again, Darren is a fantastic driver. He's got no issue chasing. It's when it comes to competition, it's a different mindset. And getting in that mindset, it takes a lot of confidence. And I think that's where Darren in the chase, he still needs a bit of work on the mindset. But let's see what he can do. He looks aggressive today, so can he put it together? Looks like it. Great initiation, starting, not letting Dakota get away in that G35. Dakota, though, doing a really consistent lead run, filling all his zones, dropping a wheel, though, on outside zone 2. Darren closing the gap, transitioning slow. Dakota a little shallow, but Darren, unfortunately, like I was saying, if you're a half a second late on that, you hesitate for half a second late, you get what happened to Darren there, where you overshoot that last outside zone, you just kind of lose him on his transition. But let's watch this back here.
Yeah, so we have Dakota in the lead here on the replay on the live stream. Darren in the chase position, matching good proximity and angle here. A floaty, smooth transition through the center, where Darren then starts to fall back a bit in that chase position. So just a little bit slow on the tick there to get it back on the door. But overall, really clean, consistent run for both of these runs, for both of these drivers. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a difficult decision just because it seems so even. They're nice boys. They played nice together.
I'm with you on that. I think, again, if there's a battle to warrant a one more time, this could be one of them too. This Darren doing really good, really consistent runs on both sides. But Dakota, I think, if I were to give a little advantage, I'd say it's difficult. I think, unfortunately, there's different areas listening to the judges. The stream team doing a great job with the replays today. Let's see here. Dakota, unfortunately, both of these drivers, actually, I'd say, kind of missing the outside zone 1. But depending on your car, it can be a little tricky to hit all these zones. But again, Dakota drops a tire in outside zone 2. Darren missing the nose clip and outside zone 3, trying to keep up.
So we see some mistakes on both sides. We see some good points on both sides. I was having an interesting conversation with Darren during the break. He ran this layout in last year's competition series, and he really didn't like it because he found it very challenging to initiate and sweep so wide to enter the track. And this year he was saying, I feel a lot more confident. I've had some experience with this. It's a lot harder than it looks like on the live stream. Like, to be in the car, being the driver behind the wheel.
You give him too much credit, Nicole. It's really not that. No,
tread lightly.
No, these guys are, yes. Darren, I agree with Darren. This is one of our most difficult layouts when it comes to actually linking it smoothly. Let's see what the judges say, though. Swipe left for Darren and right for Dakota. We have 1, 2, 3. Dakota Jansen taking the win. Dakota Jansen in the G35. Dakota not happy with the result, though, so I think we're just going to give it to Darren. Because I think I like Darren more, too. No, I love those guys. Unfortunately, sad to see a gridlock driver out. And then there was the last remaining gridlock driver. Can we get a gridlock chant? Gridlock, 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 gridlock. We are experiencing a locust storm here, apparently, at Agassiz Speedway today. We're in between locusts and wasps. It's very fun. Mikey, one of our cameramen, taking one out. Shout out to Mike, catching all the shots on the bikes today.
Keeping us safe up here.
Okay, Nicole, you put me on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your predictions with this one?
Tanner and Jake. Ooh, okay. Well, my prediction is this is going to be a spicy battle because both of these guys are just on one today. They've got the beans. They've got the juice. I think Jake is going to do fantastic in his chase position, and Tanner is going to do fantastic in his lead. Now, not that either of them is not confident or proficient in the other position. I just recognize that those are these drivers' favorite places to play.
I would say it's the shine point for sure. I agree with you on that. All right, here we go. Jake, like you were saying, Jake confident in the chase here, glued to Tanner, but Tanner doing his best to run away with a perfect lead run here. Going into that inside clip. Jake, though, not shaking at all. Really letting that Volvo loose. Broken steering rack. Who cares? Jake is making this car look as straight as it ever has.
One of the things that I noticed about both of these drivers is that having someone right on their door makes them drive harder, makes them drive better. It doesn't shake them. It doesn't intimidate them in the way that you might think it would. It actually encourages and inspires them, I think. So we see a lot of really good driving from both of these boys when there's someone just nudging them around the track.
I'm actually really excited to watch the second half because Tanner's been really impressing me in the chase, but Jake is a veteran when it comes to the lead run and chase, obviously. But Jake has a little bit of a slower initiation here. Let's see if it'll catch off at Tanner as well like it did Josh. Doesn't looks like Tanner knows that. Jake, though, oh no. Is it it's a restart. Cone hit. Jake needs to fix his bumper. It's taking out cones on him.
We're zooming in on the live stream here onto Track Pappy. Ian fixing up the cones here, re-racking the cars.
Doing a great job. Jake is, if you saw in his car from the last battle, Jake has a bit of his bumper hanging off, and that managed to catch two of the cones as he was leaving that zone. We're all thinking Jake's playing games up here, but he's just too smart. But also, Jake is definitely lazy enough to have falling off car parts, knock off cones in the start line.
Even with that bumper falling off, it's the best his car has ever looked.
I agree. Yes, you are completely correct. Our start line Poppy, Ian sorting them out a little bit there, getting it straightened out. So we are going to get these guys shooting off the line here. Again, Jake, let's see what he can do. I am very excited to see. Again, it looked like Tanner was already trying to learn that initiation. He was playing it close, but spacing himself out so he wouldn't get cut off. So I like to see Tanner's really thinking this through. He clearly has a spotter looking out for him today, keeping an eye on what's going on. And actually, that spotter, Luciano, down there in the sun hat, making it work today. Can you guys hear me on the wall there? Oh, wow. Boo. What was that? Can you guys hear me on the wall? I'm pulling all your wristbands off. Crowd participation is required around here. Dakota somehow getting in for free today. Odo sneaking his way into the driver's seat. Okay, here we go. Let's focus on this for a second. Jake leading out, clean start. Tanner trying his best to keep up with Jake. Oh my goodness, look at these guys go. They're flying through this racetrack. Tanner not able quite to keep the pace on Jake like Jake did on him. But I'd say Tanner a little bit of a, oh no! Tanner, unfortunately, beating himself up a bit there in the chase for doing that. His car looks perfectly fine, which is nice, but unfortunately, Tanner knocking himself out, just going a little wide there. Tanner, a true race car driver, giving him warning there's no damage on his car. He tells me he doesn't care. He's just mad he lost, which we don't even know that happened yet. Tanner wanting to call his 5 minutes here, trying to extend this loss as much as he can, which could potentially not be a loss. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the judges have to say. Scorecards up. Swipe left for Tanner, right for Jake. 1, 2, 3. Jake Snetten taking the win in the 760. Happy as a clam. The judges hitting him with a complete battleship move, getting him right in the windshield with a water bottle. Jake Snetten, unfortunately, and then there were none. Gridlock is out of competition for the day. Let's hear it for the Gridlock team, though. These guys showing up and showing out. We love Gridlock around here. If that's the only traffic I want to get caught in is Gridlock. Ooh, 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 ooh. Speaking of tough traffic, we're going into our one more time. Nicole, talk about it. Two old friends battling. What's going to happen?
So we are re-racking
Sorry,
Shelby.
This is run number 2. I was totally wrong.
We're re-racking Shelby, Moreau, and Gaston Morrison for the second half of their battle. So this will be run number 2 of their battle we saw previously, where Shelby looped it at the end there. There was a little bit of contact. So they got to go check out the cars, make sure there was no damage. This is the last battle of our top 8. So we're going to line them up at the start line. And Track Pappy Ian gives them the thumbs up, and they are ready to go. So we've got Gaston in the lead, coming up with a nice smooth initiation high on the bank. Shelby initiating slightly behind him and cutting the line a little bit short as he enters the track. Gaston keeping it nice and wide, and Shelby has been throwing off his line. So he's working to get deep and on the door of Gaston. They transition through the center. Shelby still working to get that line back on track, and Gaston just floating through the track like it's easy. A little bit of a tap there as they cross the finish line.
All right, let's watch this replay. I know we got cut out here. All right, Gaston in the lead. Shelby chasing. Gaston with a strong start. Shelby, unfortunately, having to straighten up here, going into this touch and go. But Gaston, the only contention is Gaston did cut that inner clip or going into the touch and go, but I think Shelby was already offline going into it, so there's that. And then here's this other contact that's a little funky, and Gaston, it looks like Gaston might have been straightening a little bit, and Shelby got into him. I don't know if Gaston getting a little confused on where the track edge is or where the finish line is, but let's watch this back. Here we go. Gaston again. Great through the sweeper into this touch and go. And then here we go. Let's watch this. This doesn't really matter, even though it's very cool because it's drifting, transition. Here we go. It's what matters. And we have the finish line coming up. Gaston gas straightening before the finish line is what it looks like. So I am curious, what are the judges going to say? Okay, here we go. We got 1, 2, again, 3, one more times. These old friends are going back at it. Dark Lotus Drift Team, one more time. Let's go. Gaston seems like he's running into maybe a fuel cut issue as he was leaving the line there. So he's going to go check out his car before we run these guys back. These old friends, and when I say old, I mean old friends, are going to run it back one more time like they used to back in the day. How's your day going, Nicole? How are you having? What kind of time are you having out here today?
What kind of time am I having? I'm always having a great time. I recently, somebody posted a photo of me in a drift car, and I had reposted it and said, oh, there's always a big smile on my face when I'm at drifting. And they were like, yeah, I've never seen you not happy at drifting. Because how could you be not happy when you're at something like this? Like, beautiful weather, great drivers, fun battles. What's there not to like?
I mean, what's there not to love?
Exactly.
It is awesome out here, and we are having a great time. We are in the sun, eating it up, getting sunburned. It is awesome. I'm getting overheated, and also, I kind of want to drive myself.
Are you going to drive open drift tonight?
I don't know if I have an open diff in my car or an LSD. I put one in a couple weeks back, and I'm going to test that. I'll let you know if it drifts or not, actually. My car is a very short gear ratio, or my diff is, so I swapped it in for a longer one to drive down to Formula Drift last weekend or 2 weeks ago. And I'm lazy, so I haven't swapped it back yet, but I need to do that. That's a good point. And I got some work this week, actually. I got a drift event to prepare for. But until then, we're going to talk about Grassroots. We are just having a We are back here for round 3 of our BCDA Grassroots series. We are just getting through our top 8. We are waiting for our last battle between Shelby, Moreau. Actually, a one more time battle between Shelby, Moreau, and Gaston, Morrison. Gas having a little bit of gas issues, actually. Sounded like he was having a bit of fuel cut coming out of the last zone or across the finish line. Gaston is pulling out, though. Seems like he's got it sorted. A little more gas in the tank is what the solution was there. We'll see if it works. But Shelby waiting patiently for his friend to get back here. It is fun seeing these guys battle. It's been a while since we've seen these old guys duke it out. Dark Lotus Drift Team, these guys have been around since the Stone Age. They were drifting with the Frankensteins or the Flintstones back in the day, and now they're still doing it with rubber.
I hear rumors that they still have pads on their feet to this day from their Flintstone cars.
Yes, Gaston, actually. Some people have nitrous added to their car. Gaston, if you look closely, he's pedaling under there. You can see his feet pitter-pattering very quickly, giving his car a little extra boost. We have there's variable valve timing, and there's a Gaston Morrison timing, and that's what he's working on with right now, and it seems to be working. I'll tell you that much. So let's see if he can keep the show on the road here and move into the top 4. Wow. What a day for drifting. I am sorry there's a couple breaks in the speaking here as we get farther into this competition. I am trying to maintain to the last breath. Here we go. Shelby Moreau leading out Gaston. Shelby. Whoa! Not sure what happened there. Shelby seeming his car cut off or something. Shelby shaking his head. Oh, restart light. Unfortunately, Shelby. Not sure why he got off throttle there. Should have just kept going, but that is unfortunate for these two. We're going to have to pause this out. Apparently, we have a restart light that they've called. Let's see. Here we go. Yep, that's the restart light. Unfortunately, just a bad situation. All right, so we are gonna. All righty, so it looks like we have a little bit of a pause in the action. So Shelby Moreau not at fault for this, but the restart light going off. So Shelby initiating and then getting off gas. Unfortunately, Gaston chases a race. He was in it. And, yeah. And they, yeah, unfortunately, Shelby Moreau probably taking himself out here. These Corvettes, it sounds like he's pretty broken down there.
Yeah, they're under the car, checking things out to see if there's anything visually standing out. But for some of our new fans and new spectators who might not know, what is a restart? Why do we do this? What's happening?
It's a great question, Nicole. Okay, so if you look at, can we, actually, I got someone here, Dustin. Can you get these people? I have a radio to them. Here, 1 second. Can we get a view of the start line here, please? Thank you. Okay, here we go. We got a view of the start line. So you see these cones. There is a chicane for the lead driver. So they have to slightly go left and then right. And what that does is it helps pace out the lead and the chase driver so the lead can't do a drag race and take off from the chase driver. But the lead driver has to stay within the cone. So if the lead driver knocks a cone over or even moves a cone, it's a restart. So right before, if we can now get a shot of the kind of the entry, the first zone. We are moving the camera. Oh, I got Mikey working for me. Perfect. Okay, so if you look at that first zone, right on the start of it, on the other side of the wall, we have a restart light. So that restart light will flash, and the drivers, basically, if you're a lead driver or a chase driver, you should be able to see that, and you shut it down and bring it back. So you have, it's a 1, 2, 3 strike rule, and you're out. So you have 3 strikes as a lead driver. If you strike 3 times, then you're disqualified. So that's kind of how that works, Nicole. Sorry, that was probably a way longer explanation than needed.
So in depth, so much detail, but it's good. It's
all
good.
The detail. We're teaching here. We're teaching.
So we are hearing that there was some damage to Shelby's car. So he does get to go to the pits. He gets 10 minutes courtesy to check that out. The collision was Gas at fault, because Gas continued to initiate and start the run even though there was a restart light. So what's going to happen now is Shelby is going to go look at his car. He gets his 10 minutes. If he's able to make it to the line, they can complete their battle. If he's unable to make it to the line, Gaston will have to complete the second half of this battle as a bye run.
Yes, so that will be interesting. And so that's a very good point. So if Gaston cannot make it back to the line himself, then he actually, so what happens? So, okay, so we need to go over this. So technically, if Shelby can't get his car to the line then Shelby wins and Gas can't move on. So if Gaston causes Shelby to wreck and Shelby can't fix his car, Shelby technically gets the win because he's not at fault, but neither of them move on, even if Shelby fixes his car afterwards. Is I think the rule. That's what happened to Johnny Hurst in Long Beach.
Yeah,
I think that's the rules.
I believe that's correct. And if he can fix his car, then they can battle.
Exactly, with a huge demerit, I guess would be the word, maybe, to Gaston in his lead. Alrighty, so we will be back here. We are just gonna get these cars fixed up, and we will be back to this live stream. Let's enjoy the view of our beautiful sponsors in race gear and kinetic science. We will be back. Round 3, Grassroots. See you there.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we'd like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
let your words move and turn it physical. Your rhetoric is cheap and very typical. Was hoping that the captain was amenable. Jailing's not your right, turn it spiritual. You can turn it with purpose and fear, you will never win.
Well, you guys ready to check out some battle?
Welcome down to Smelty round 2 here at Mission Raceway Park. It's Mr. Justin Dubé, Holy G, Alex Stein, Jansen.
Reach the bar, underground methods, that natural in the morning, strike the rock,
For the final, one more time. Let's see if we get a winner here. We do have a decision on the course. Marco Giselle is your 2024 Smelty champion.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
catch me howling at the moon. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun rises, when the sun
Apologize for the delay here. We are just about to start a couple more competitions or a couple more commercials here. We are about to start Shelby's 5-minute timeout here. Looks like they're still wrenching away on that rear end. Not quite sure what the issue is, but it is all hands on deck at Mr. Moreau's pit. So we will be back shortly to finish our top four.
Inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the whole closest starts to end up.
miraculously, Shelby Moreau getting his car back together there with his. So he used all 10 minutes of his timeout that he was awarded and then dipped into his 5 minutes. So with that, I mean, a lot of people, the repair they just did in Shelby's car, a lot of people, something like that would happen and they'd be parked in the garage for a month and a half. They just did that in 12 and a half minutes. So, I mean, whew, I'm out of breath. I just ran from the pits. I got down there and they went, we're fixed now. I went, oh, I gotta go. So we are back now. I am looking forward to this. This is a restart, right? Full reset. So we are going from ground zero. There's no fault because it was a restart. So no one's. So yeah, okay. So it's a clean slate here. We are wiping things clean. Hopefully, Shelby leads. Gaston's got to switch that up. Back that up. Come on now. We saved those. Okay. Okay, so Nicole, we've had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a cool down. I mean, there's no cooling down here today, but we've had a little bit of a break of yelling. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen between these old fellas?
I'm finding it hard to say because originally I would say, they know each other so well. They know their driving styles. It's going to be a nice, clean run. But we haven't seen that yet today.
So far, it's a little bit messy. So
mindsets will be interesting. Let's see how it plays out.
Here we go. Shelby with a great start to this run. Big change up. He's looking confident now in that car. It's gripped up. There is zero alignment. They just put an arm in and tossed it back on the ground. And he seems to be driving it better than he ever has. But Gaston now looping it. Shelby. My goodness gracious. Dark Lotus Drift Team. Like the Dark Lotus Spin Team here. Whoa. All right, let's look at this. Shelby with a great initiation. Absolutely hustling through that first outside zone. Great through the sweeper, maintaining good angle and line. All the way into that touch and go, filling all of outside zone. To Gaston, though, right there with the matching line and angle all through the track up until right here. Gaston doing what Shelby did, just about 20 feet farther forward in their first battle. So, wow. This is surprising to see Gaston looping it. Very uncommon.
See, I was right. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Wait, what are you going to do? Right, here we go. Switch him up. Gaston in the lead now. Shelby chasing. Shelby pacing it out a little bit, but I think a little bit too much. Gaston managing to run away from Shelby through the whole first sweeper and into this outside zone 2 is where Shelby finally starts reeling him back in. Inner clip, great from both the drivers. How did they do last outside zone? Great run. Gaston just getting a little wide, but not cutting this time. So here we go. That is a clean battle from both these drivers. Unfortunately, Gaston fighting from way behind here after spinning the first run. Nicole, tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so Gas is looking a little bit more confident out in the lead this time. Nice and smooth, clean run from him. Finally getting through the track without any funny business from both of these drivers. So we're going to bring them up to the front here. We're going to give our judges a minute to make a decision here. We've got our series owner, Jordan Maynard, out there giving high fives to both the drivers. This has been a fun one to watch through all the stages of it, but looks like we have a decision sliding them left for Shelby Moreau. That's 1, 2, 3 judges' decisions, giving the win to Shelby Moreau.
Shelby coming back. I mean, a rough year in the G35, but this Corvette, he's looking good. He's happy. A little bit of quarter damage, but I mean, again, he's got zero alignment in the rear end of that thing, but whatever alignment it is, he should not change it. Okay, so we go from one Dark Lotus battle to another here.
So that was the wrap up on our top 8. That was the last battle we see for top 8. And the next battle that we're going to see will be the first in our top 4. So we're dwindling them down. We're dialing in. Shelby will be seeing Alex, one of his Dark Lotus teammates, in the top 4. And we will see Dakota Jansen against Jake Snetten.
Okay, so these two drivers. All right, so right away, Alex Steins versus Shelby. Hey, Dakota. Again, no one can hear us. We're just yelling. Thankfully, Mitch can yell louder than I can get a microphone to go. So that's very good. Okay, we have both these drivers. We have it organized. If you would like to volunteer, we need someone standing with a walkie-talkie in the grid. We are looking for volunteers at the BCDA. Please message the BCDA. If you want to help out and get trackside, let us know. We are always looking for volunteers around here. Also, looks like we're looking for drivers out here. We're missing our guys.
We need a driver wrangler at this point. We're looking for Mr. Alex Steins.
Alex Steins. Excuse me. He was... I saw Alex in the pits fixing Shelby's car. Okay, they're both there. Jordan, that's what you get for trying. Alrighty, so if I'm correct, Alex being our number 1 qualifier, actually I am correct. Alex being our number 1 qualifier, he is going to lead out this battle. He is in the wrong burnout box, but that's okay. They're just making it work. These guys, Shelby, don't really know why he's warming up his tires. He just pulled off track, but he's doing it because that's what we do here. And we also have Alex Steins, who he's been sitting for a bit. I'll give him that much. Looks like we have some smart spectators, though, catching some shade on the other side of the track. Good thinking. We are stuck in the sunshine in the booth here, so I am jealous of you two. Okay, here we go. Next battle. Alex Steins leading Shelby Moreau. This is the top 4, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting close to the end. Alex with an aggressive initiation to start off here. Absolutely huffing away from Shelby. That thing is all gas, no brakes when it comes to the B46 of Alex Steins. Well, at least when he's driving it, filling all of these zones. Shelby doing the best he can to close the gap on Alex, but unfortunately, just does not look like he can make it happen. Alex's car is absolutely scooting out here. My goodness, I think he stole Jay's supercharger from the top 4.
We were worried that he wasn't ready to go, but apparently he very much was. Alex was just getting away from Shelby. They're right off the hop and then held that lead all the way through the run. Lots of nice smooth transitions we're seeing from him here on the live stream on the overhead, eye in the sky. Shelby having a little bit of a challenge to keep up to Alex and put it on his door. So when we swap them around and have Shelby in the lead, we're going to see what he does here. But Alex is proving to us why, once again, he is our number 1 qualifier.
Oh, that is right. He is. And, okay. Tough segue, but we're going with it. Dark Lotus Drift Team coming in. Going for the Shelby. Oh, my goodness. What just happened? Did Shelby decel is what we are trying to figure out. And it looked like he kind of did. He saw he was going wide, and usually you're supposed to stand on gas to avoid that, but judges are looking closely. Shelby's Corvette just getting beat up today. Brings a new car to these events and just gets destroyed. And by his own teammates at that, too. Here we go. Let's see. Shelby tipping it in. I mean, man, that is close to call. Very close to call. I'm curious between these drivers. I know Alex Stein's never admits fault, so I'm curious to see Alex. I'm joking. Alex usually is the most critical on his own driving, so I'm curious to see. Alex says he has a broken tie rod. All right, let's see this one more time from a different angle. Here we go, tipping it in, Shelby. No handbrake pull. There's no handbrake pull by Alex. All right, well, it looks like the judges have their decision, or sorry, no handbrake pull by Shelby. It looks like Alex could have used a handbrake pull potentially, actually, is what was going on there. But both these drivers are out of the car. Let's hear it for both these drivers. Dark Lotus Drift Team, Alex Steins and Shelby Moreau. Looks like Alex potentially living up to the name of Alex Big Bobble Steins today. Let's see what he can do. Unfortunately, we have 1, 2, 3 for Shelby Moreau in the Corvette. Dark Lotus Drift Team, Shelby making a return to the competition scene here. Looking strong today. That Corvette's been eating up his competitors and taking all the contact it can.
Seeing Alex go out in the top 4.
Alex Steins, I don't think he does. He's got a broken tie rod. Okay, so Alex getting kicked out, but they have a third place battle to run. So he will go against the loser of this next battle, but Alex breaking a tie rod on that contact. He's going to have to fix his car if he can quickly before this next battle, and he is up. So Dakota getting some heat into those heated tires, getting more heat into those tires, you could say. Jake Snetten looking like the Iceman, icing him out on the line, just waiting. Intimidator. That Volvo 760 putting in work today. Jake, I heard, trying to win it for his daughter, Jocelyn, or Josie. I'm terrible. Again, Maddie, I apologize. Your daughter's extremely cute. I know you're watching from home. We miss you down here. Jake, take home that win, baby. Let's go. I have no bias, though. No bias. All right, here we go. Dakota leading out Jake Snetten. Dakota in this G35 looking sharp. Here we go. Jake. Oh, my goodness. Almost overcooking it in the Volvo on the entry, but it looked like Dakota really slowed down a bit. Lots of left foot brake from Dakota, but getting his car into all the zones where he needs to be. Jake adjusting in that Volvo to the slow car of the Dakota Jansen. Sorry, losing my voice there. Nicole, take us through this replay.
Alrighty, so on the replay, on the live stream, we are watching the guys as they head into the track, really chucking it in for that initiation. We have Dakota out front. It looks like a little bit of a straight, and something weird happens, and Jake needs to adjust to mirror that line from Dakota. So they get back on line, they get through the center, into that second outside zone and carry it through the third, and then nice floaty transition as they come to the center of the track here, and then carrying it wide all the way out through that outside zone 3. We are going to rack them back up. We're going to have Jake in the lead here, Dakota in the chase position. Curious to see what's going to come down here because this day has been full of surprises.
That it has been. So let's see if this one will be a surprise or an expected battle. Let's see Jake tipping it in. Dakota trying his best to keep up with him, using a little left foot brake to stay inside, cut a little line to stay in proximity, and it looks like it's working as he closes the gap. Jake, though, perfect through the first half of of the course, and it looks like potentially the second. Yes, he is. With that Volvo, just knocking over that cone, but not dropping a tire. Wow. Jake Snetten with a fantastic lead run. Again, though, I think this comes back to the first run where it looks like there was a bit of a bobble between Jake and Dakota. It looks like Dakota maybe straightening out a little bit, coming through the sweeper, which led to Jake straightening out, coming into the sweeper. So I don't know if we can get that exact replay back. If we can watch the first run back, it doesn't look like it, and that's okay. Actually, I can talk to the replay people. Here we go. Okay. Okay, they are making the call here. Let's see what they say. The judges deliberating. Yes, Jeopardy noise is required. All righty. Let's see. Here we go. The judges swipe left for Dakota or right for Jake. There's 1, 2, 3 for the Volvo. Jake Snetten taking the win. Jake Snetten, Dakota straightening in the lead. So both these drivers dealing with the straighten on the first run. So that was, in fact...
Alrighty, so we've got the finals of the bracket settled here. Alex Steins will face Dakota Jansen in a battle for third place, and then we will see Shelby Moreau and Jake Snetten battling for first and second place. Make sure that when these are done, if you're in house with us, don't go away. We're going to have a fun little podium ceremony. We got some prizes to hand out to these guys. And we still have also that run of the night, the Smoky, to hand out to a driver who had the best performance of the day as determined by the judges. So not necessarily someone who placed first, second, or third. It could go to anybody. So still lots of fun to happen here. We are just running through a competition timeout for Alex Steins. He's taking a look at his car. He hasn't used his timeout yet today, so he's getting a chance to do that. And we will be back shortly once that's done.
Okay, so I think we are going to do a quick set of commercials as Alex is fixing his car, and then we are going to be back for our final battles. We are shooting, it is, like Nicole was saying, it is Dakota versus Alex for third place, which was the battle you were looking for all day. It's not the finals, but it's the third place battle, and then our finals for first, Shelby versus Jake. What a comeback. Can we talk about Shelby's comeback to round 3? Shelby just a bit of struggling in this past couple of years when it comes to competition driving, but today proving his point that he should be here, almost packing the car in the trailer and deciding, you know what, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, exactly. We've, seen Shelby have hit some road bumps along the way the last year or two, but today he's brought out a new car, and he's really proving to us why he should be here, making it all the way to the finals. So never giving up. Even though he had a hit, he's still putting it through the paces.
A couple hits.
A couple, 1 or 2.
I think it also goes to show exactly, though, Matt, what our head judge Matt was saying, starting a key point to victory. Shelby looks like he's finally having fun in a car again, which is good to see. Shelby looks like he's just been overthinking it too much the past couple of years, and this Corvette's just giving him the freedom to have a good time and just. I think also he did 2 days of driving already this week, so he's feeling comfortable in the car. He was able to have fun in the car. Shelby notoriously is kind of just shows up for competitions, but you don't see him too much at an open drift. So I think getting 2 days of just fun drifting has kind of gotten, like Matt was actually just saying, a little bit of a fire under his butt to, shake off some cobwebs, really. I think Shelby, he just hasn't gotten enough seat time over the past year to really feel comfortable. And with this car, it seems he really enjoys it. And previously owning a Corvette, not this one, he owned a C7 for a long time, maybe still does. But I think it seems like this platform's good for him. He's enjoying it. But okay, I rambled and I said I was going to cut to commercial, so we will be back right after these ads.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
Alrighty, and with rambling, we are back. I am just always talking. I never stop. That is what I do. That is why I am here. We have, okay, unfortunately, so update on the situation. Alex Stein's going out by hitting Shelby Moreau, breaking a tie rod, and going into our top three battle, or our top four, our final battle for the top three position. Again, struggling today a bit. Alex is out because of a tie rod. He did not bring any tie rod ends with him, which is unfortunate, but that is just how it goes. So Dakota will be getting a bye run in and will be, if he completes a lap, getting third place. Jordan, why don't you tell us what's going on in this?
This is a bye run for, I believe that is Dakota Jansen. So he's gone wide into outside zone 2, fully filling outside zone 2. Quick snappy transition, inner clip 1, fully filled, and into outside zone 2. He's fully filling that. Riding the outside line, looking good for Dakota Jansen here.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Jordan loves being on the mic. He always keeps asking me, how do I get on the mic more? I say, just hang out, buddy. I'll get you in there, no problem. Jordan is now leaving. He just figured out his problem.
Andrew's going to scare him away. He's never going to come say hi to us again. But looks like Dakota was really happy with that run, as were we. He just needed to complete that to be able to secure third place, which he just showed us. So heading into the burnout box, we have Jake Snetten in the Volvo and Shelby Moreau in the Corvette right behind him. They're going to maybe warm up their tires. We'll see how they feel.
We'll see what they do. Hey, there's the drawing. There we are. Hello. This is us talking all day long. This is what we are in the sunshine. See, hey, it left. But if you guys scroll back 5 seconds and look at this, me and Nicole just brutally pushed outside today into the heat and sunshine. We've been scorching out here. Mikey, he's been up here a little bit back and forth. He's doing an all right job on the ops today. Okay. So we have 2 V8s, 1 Swedish, 1 American. We have 2 Canadian drivers, one Shelby Moreau of Fountain Tire Chilliwack, and 2 Jake Snetten of Josie Motorsports and Maddie's Love. Okay, here we go. So Shelby leading out Jake for our final battle today. Potentially Shelby with a big flicking. Jake getting right after it though, not letting Shelby get anywhere away from him into this touch and go. I'm running out of words. Sorry, people. Jake glued to Shelby through the outside zone 2. How do they transition? Well, Jake with a huge dive coming into the last outside zone. Shelby, though, maintaining a great lead run. Shelby looking smooth and solid through all this, but Jake, aggressive. He wants it. Nicole, let's check out the replay.
All right, so Shelby Moreau gave us a nice clean initiation and entry into the track. Really smooth, really on the line. Jake was right there with him the whole way through on his door. Seeing a lot of that aggressive driving style from Jake Snetten that we've come to know of him, and those nice big dives. As they came through that center of the track transition, Jake started to fall away a little bit, but dove right in on Shelby's door, putting that pressure back on as they came through that final outside zone. Really clean run. This is what we wanted to see. Let's see if we will get a clear deciding factor on this second portion of the battle.
Neither of these drivers wanting to leave it in the judges' hands, so let's see what Jake can do. Leading out Shelby again with a slower initiation, but managing to absolutely gap Shelby after the first outside zone is Jake Snetten in that 760 Volvo into outside zone 2. Jake repainting the line. Shelby trying his best to get back into the game against Jake, but Jake not having it, absolutely punting that last turn on track. Wow, fantastic battle. I would think, I don't know who per se, but I think we have a victor on this battle.
We're getting, even got some applause from the judges at the end of that battle, so that's always a good sign. They're happy, they're having fun.
We have a happy crowd here. We are happy. is what we are. I'd say that'd be a good description of us right now.
If you're happy and you know it,
Clap your hands. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to clap or say clap your hands. I was confused. I just froze. Okay. Josh Wiens, you're right beside Dakota. Can you get him to come up to the line?
So if you're watching on the live stream, our judges are asking for a couple replays here. There's a few little pieces that they just want to have a second look at. If you're in the house live, we're watching Jake Snetten's car roll away for the second time today. Fantastic driver, terrible parker.
Terrible up Parker. Jake's specifically working on parked vehicles, not rolling ones usually, so he's not quite used to having four wheels. Jake actually notoriously a helicopter tech. That is why he can always keep a car together. If you can manage to keep a helicopter in the air during all these forest fires, you can keep a Volvo 760 together just fine.
So on the live stream, while the judges are finalizing their decisions, we see all these drivers out on track, out of the car. We've got Shelby Moreau on the left-hand side. He can give us a wave.
Shelby, give us a wave. Woo!
We've got Jake Snetten in the middle, and then we've got Dakota Jansen over on the right. So lots of smiles from these boys. Some fun driving today. Just awaiting our judges' decision here.
I don't know if you've been looking, Nicole, but I think Dakota's been eating a couple too many pierogies recently. I see a little bit of a belly poking out of that Jansen Racing shirt. I'm so happy you can't hear me.
You can't blame him because those pierogies, when they were at the track a few weeks ago, they sold out real fast. They're unreal.
My belly was poking out of my shirt after a couple of rounds of those rogies too. Yeah, that is a good fact. That is a very good point, Nicole. I'll give him that much. Rogies and stogies. That's how we do it around here. Alrighty, we are walking these guys out. Give me half a second here.
Alrighty, so it sounds like the judges do have a decision. They have left the tower. While we wait for them to come down and hand out these awards, let's talk a little bit about what we're giving away here. Today, first place will earn one pair of 235 Tino tires valued at $380. They'll also earn $250 cash, $100 to Lordco, $200 to Fountain Tire Chilliwack, and a $500 credit to Deadbeat Speed Shop Paint and Body Repair or a body kit fitment.
All right, and then we got in second place. You will get $100 to Race Gear. All right, Race Gear, step it up a bit. Let's make it $1,000 next time. $100 towards racegear.ca, $200 cash, and $100 Fountain Tire Chilliwack. So I think Shelby's hoping he wins that one. And then third place, you get $150 cash and a $50 Fountain Tire Chilliwack card. And then overall, we will then have, which will not be a placement thing, but run of the night, we would qualify as a new special prize. It is called the Smoky. It's awarded by our judges. They choose the best run, their favorite run of the night. This prize is $500 towards that driver, courtesy of Ryan Bogasinski Realty. Big shout out to the Bogasinskis and all they do for us here at the BCDA. Alrighty, so we are going to start off. Is there a Ryan Bogasinski here? We are looking for Mr. Bogasinski. There he is. He is getting his award. Yes, we got him. Do you know? Okay. You sure? All right, you get Ryan.
All right, so Mr. Ryan Bogasinski's on track. He's got his Smoky Award in his hand. So again, this award is going to the driver who had the run of the day. Most exciting, best run chosen by the judges, and it's going to Shelby Moreau.
Shelby getting $500 courtesy of Ryan Bogasinski Realty. Big shout out to Ryan. If you are looking for a house or a place to live in the Lower Mainland, message Mr. Ryan Bogasinski. He will get you sorted. Again, huge congratulations to Mr. Shelby Moreau getting run of the night, the Smoky. And that brings us into our top three. So, in third place, coming in with a very difficult battle to get the third place, we have Dakota Jansen at Helmy's Pierogies, Jansen Racing, winning $150 cash and a $50 gift card to Fountain Tire Chilliwack. We want to give a big shout out to Ernie Wiens of Wiens Electric for lending him the car for the day, letting him beat it up. Ernie, I think you drive it better, I'll be honest. Okay, and with that, in first place, a man we've all loved, who's been around the scene longer than dinosaurs have roamed the earth. In first place, taking the win in the biggest box here today, Jake Snetten. Winning one pair of 235 Zestino tires, $250 cash, $100 towards Lordco, and a $200 Fountain Tire Chilliwack gift card, courtesy of our second place winner, Shelby Moreau. Shelby absolutely climbing through the ranks in the trenches today in that Corvette, taking on all the damage, but giving it all the heart, pulling through with zero alignment to second place. Wow. Shelby, it is good to have you back, baby. Just needed some seat time. That's right. Shelby making himself known. He's back, baby. Dark Lotus is back. Again, congratulations to our top three. Jake Snetten, Shelby Moreau, and Dakota Jansen.
A big thank you to all our sponsors today and Agassiz Speedway for hosting us. Such an amazing day out here. Congratulations to our drivers. Thank you to all the drivers that drove and put their hearts on the line today. Big thanks to our media staff and our live stream team for keeping it going all day long. If you're in the house, don't go home. We've got open drift happening this evening, so stick around.
Okay, so with that, we are going to end off this stream on a high note. Let's talk about our sponsors who keep us running through here. We have Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires, Augmented Racing. Joe, we miss you. I hope you're having fun down under. Ryan, Bogasinski Realty, providing that Smoky Award. These three are happy. They are friends. We're having fun. Racegear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack. Again, Shelby Moreau right there. He is one of our sponsors. He is ready to send a set of tires off to the moon right now. 110 Hobbies, Excel Autoglass, Steel Reel Productions, Kinetic Signs, Fish Tech Racing, Jordan Maynard, and last but not least, Valley Tech for lending us equipment and knowledge when it comes to running this amazing stream. A thank you to Nicole for being up here. Our three judges, Matt, Clinton, and Jamie, keeping us running, all the camera operators. Thank you for tuning in. This is round 3. We will see you in 2 weeks for round 4. Or 3 weeks, 4 and 5.
For 4 and 5, yeah. Thanks for being up here with me. As always, we're going to send these boys off with a couple donuts. Let's go.
Jake doing some donuts with a stack of tires in his passenger seat. We love to see this. Man, is drifting not just the best thing in the world. Thank you for joining us for round 3 as Shelby sends off this set of tires. We will see you next time, September 12th and 13th, right back here at Agassiz Speedway. Same YouTube channel, Grassroots, round 4 and 5. We are out.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
Let your words move and turn it physical. Your rhetoric is cheap and very typical. Was hoping that the captain was amenable. Jalen's not the right, turn